Okay, now we're on the Science Standard 11D, which states, analyze how heat energy is transferred, such as convection, conduction, radiation. Your concepts are change, transfer, convection, conduction, radiation, cause and effect, system, structure, and function. Critical content. You need to know how heat energy is transfers. You need to know about convection, conduction, and radiation in depth. So you need to look at these in depthly. Your key skills are to analyze how the heat energy transfers. Your targeted cognitive process is to analyze. So to be successful, the steps you need to take is these are also referred to as core tasks, to refamiliarize yourself with convection, conduction, and radiation. So familiarize yourself with all three of these, and that again was convection, conduction, radiation. You need to research and educate yourself on the process of how heat energy transfers. And once you know about all of these aspects, you will be successful with this standard. And again, this was 11D, analyze how heat energy is transferred. Let's look at two of our resources. Okay, temperature is the measure of how hot or cold an object is. Heat energy, let's see. Temperature, Fahrenheit, Celsius. All right, so this is your thermal energy. Okay, transfer of thermal energy is heat. Conduction is the transfer of thermal energy through an object by a series of convolutions between adjacent atoms, molecules, or electrons. If one end of a metal spoon is held in a pan on a stove, the other end soon becomes hot. The energy from the stove causes the molecules in the end of the spoon that is in the pan to move faster, increasing the rate and size of their vibrations. These molecules transfer some of their extra kinetic energy to neighboring molecules, and this in turn affects their neighbors. So the temperature in the entire spoon increases. Convection is the transfer of thermal energy due to the motion of the substance that contains the thermal energy. So conduction occurs in liquids and gases as well as solids. Convection may have a much larger effect in liquids and gases where the molecules are free to migrate. So conduction, they just go to their neighbors. Convection, they're able to migrate. And then radiation is a short for electromagnetic radiation was discussed. We found that energy can be transferred by radiation from one location to another. No medium such as air or water is needed for the radiation to travel and transfer energy. It can pass through a vacuum as energy from the sun does in reaching Earth. So this can transfer and doesn't need transfer energy. So the energy is transferred from the burning material to you via electromagnetic radiation. Okay. Those are good to review this resource. And this talks about the moving particles again in your three states. Transfer heat energy. There's your conduction again, transfers heat energy in solids. So conduction transfers them in solids, the heat energy in solids. Radiation is a method of transfer that does not require particles to carry the heat energy. So like the campfire. Okay, so those are good to review. You have some good visuals on these resources. And remember, 11D is to analyze how heat energy is transferred. So review your convection, conduction, and radiation to be successful with this standard.